Hello, welcome. Now, BNF Bank is a key player in the Maltese financial services sector, and it strives to be the bank of choice for individuals and businesses, driven by the highest principles of ethical and social responsibility. BNF Bank is now a familiar name in Malta with a strong brand identity. The bank operates a network of 12 retail branches spread across the Maltese Islands, a corporate and business banking centre along the local trading room, as well as a strong team of customer care representatives. Well, joining me now to talk a little bit more about the bank is Mike Collis, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, and the manager of the brand new London branch of BNF Bank, Andrew Woods. Hi guys, thank you for joining us today. Mike, first of all, how has BNF Bank stood by its core values of credibility and trust throughout its existence?
Well, the existence of the bank actually goes back about 12 years, but the shareholders that now, the majority shareholders that now own the bank, purchased the bank about 5 years ago. And I think probably one of the most important things is that they continued the work of the previous shareholders. So the previous shareholders have done quite a good job of establishing the brand in Malta. So it was quite recognisable on the high street for a bank that hadn't been around that long. And so when we acquired the bank, one of the first decisions was to take the existing work and enhance it. So push on the branding, push on very importantly our sort of core social work that we do locally through the branches, which sort of very much ties the branches to the community. And I think those two actions have really helped the bank embed its position in the market and become recognised for what its values are.
In light of the COVID-19 outbreak last year and the ongoing economic issues that it's caused, how has the bank adhered to these core values and maintained that trust between it and its customers?
Well, obviously it's been a very difficult time for everybody. I think that's the first thing to say. In our case, obviously, number one priority was to make sure that the staff and the customers were safe. So we put in place measures, excuse me, immediately to really ensure that the staff that could work from home worked from home. But then, of course, we have a branch network, so those members of staff had to go to work every day, regardless. So putting in place the right protocols to make sure that they were safe. Our branch network stayed open throughout the pandemic. I think we served our customers well. To some extent, customers probably didn't notice a difference in the way that we operated. And we also pushed on, I think, in terms of technology. We introduced our technology plan a lot faster to make sure that we created the right delivery channels for customers to be able to access the services they needed to access.
The risk management is, of course, a major aspect of the success of any bank. How does BNF Bank ensure it takes a meticulous approach towards risk?
Well, it's very important, and risk these days means a variety of different things. Obviously, the core business of BNF Bank is lending. So credit risk is fundamental to what we do, as it is with most commercial banks. But these days, increasingly, there is a very heavy regulatory burden in banking which needs to be adhered to. There are operational issues, operational risk issues. Cyber attack is another one that you have to be extremely wary of. And increasingly now, environmental concerns, social concerns, corporate responsibility, all of those come under the general umbrella of risk, if you like. So we've put in place a very strong infrastructure to make sure all of those are handled.
And in what ways does BNF Bank work with regulators and authorities in, of course, the home country of Malta?
Well, obviously we have to work very closely with regulators under normal circumstances, but particularly after what we've just been through, what everybody's just been through. We coordinated very closely with the regulators and with governmental authorities to ensure the smooth functioning of the economy. A lot of customers needed help along the way. They needed moratoria on their facilities, that kind of thing. And that was all done in conjunction with regulatory authorities and government authorities to make sure that the economy continued to function. And I think it worked very well, actually, I have to say. I think Malta probably did extremely well.
And how has BNF Bank coped with the growth in demand for digital banking services?
Well, we've worked hard on our channels. As I said earlier, we've really pushed on with our technology program. We've got a very good online banking platform now. We've introduced an app so that people can use, particularly younger generation like to do everything on their mobile phone these days. We've just undertaken a very large IT project which will take us about 3 years to complete, but which will involve the full digitisation of the bank. So we're making very significant expenditure in order to ensure the bank stays ahead of the game in technology.
You recently celebrated the opening of a UK branch recently, and Andrew, I want to bring you in on this. Can you tell us what the idea is behind this new branch and what you hope to achieve with its opening?
Sure, good morning. So, look, delighted to have the branch up and running finally, slightly delayed opening due to COVID and the pandemic over the last year or so. But in the first 6 months of trading, we're on budget. Our core focus is secured property lending, and the strategy for this year is to tap into the London syndicated loan market, so partnering with Tier 1 international banks generally. And we've booked a number of high quality transactions across various commercial real estate sectors, hotels, offices, and so on. So we're very pleased with the progress so far, and BNF has been very positively accepted in the London market, and that reputation and brand awareness is growing as we speak. But going forward, our strategy will be to sort of partner with high net worth individuals, sponsors from the Gulf and Europe that are coming into London to make investments both on a personal and corporate level into the London property market. So we're very excited about the future ahead, and we believe the bank has a bright future, and we will further down the line look to offer our clients Islamic financing, residential mortgages, and continue with our commercial real estate portfolio.
Well, let's continue to look ahead, Mike. What are some of the other plans you have to expand the bank's reach in the coming years?
Well, I think London's a very important part of that. As Andrew said, we have a lot of customers, both in Malta and through our shareholder in the Gulf region, who are very focused on the UK market, not just London, actually the UK market, and investment opportunities there. So I think growing London will be very important to us. As I mentioned earlier, the technology platform that we're putting in place will be extremely important to us. And strong growth in Malta. I think the economy down there is still doing very well. Our business is roughly 50% retail, 50% corporate business. Our retail business involves lending to people for the first time they buy a house or the second time they buy one. And that core business, I think, has a lot of potential to grow very strongly over the next few years. So I think very much focusing on the platform we've put in place, enhancing the technology side of it, and then pushing on and growing our balance sheet and our business strongly over the next few years.
Now we have to talk about these awards that are sitting in front of us on the table here. Now the European have named the bank, BNF Bank, the best bank in Malta and the most innovative digital transformation bank. What do these awards mean to you and to BNF Bank?
Well, to me, obviously, I'm extremely proud. I think for the bank, for the staff, particularly in the bank, given all the challenges we've had in the last year or two, I think for them it's affirmation that the bank's been recognised by such a prestigious organisation as the European, and I think it gives us an optimism for the future that we're doing all the right things. We need to carry on, keep building the bank, keep doing what we're doing at the moment, and hopefully win a few more of these.
Well, huge congratulations on your awards, and thank you both for joining us today. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.